Have to confess that I haven't fully watched, I haven't watched at all the podcast and chill conversation with Toles Monges. I was at a complex yesterday where there was some painting being done, and one of the other units was busy playing the episode. So while I was downstairs, it was upstairs, I was listening to the interview, the conversation, the anger. Hey guys, Toles Mo is angry and he's not okay. He's not okay. Understandably so. I just obviously have my reservations. I was with Toles Mo a couple of weeks ago, I'm not sure now, at the premiere of the Castle Malt Stout Conversations About Blackness, which was on Mzansi Magic for a couple of weeks, where various groups of celebrities, influencers, thought leaders, etc. were just discussing various topics around being black, language, skin color, culture, etc. I think the one with Toles Mo, the topic was about cancel culture and how he was cancelled, after being accused by Lerato Moloi of rape. I'm not sure how many years the case was ongoing for, but Toles Mo eventually won the case this year. He was acquitted of rape, found not guilty. Lerato Moloi, I think, according to Toles Mo, was told by the judge or the magistrate that she's a liar, etc., etc. So Toles Mo has been using platforms to tell his story on how his life was destroyed, by cancel culture. How some guy stopped speaking to him. He lost money. He lost gigs. And then he went on this rampage about various women, who he was calling them bitches. Various women on social media who were screaming out his name. And the dangers of the hashtag I believe her, me too. There are so many men that are falsely accused of rape. And it's sad because they languish in jail. There have been stories in this country and abroad of men who have been falsely accused, who have spent time in jail. Their lives will never be the same again. And even after it comes out that, you were wrongfully accused, you were wrongfully jailed, some people still don't trust you. Some people still don't want you around their sisters, their wives, etc., because they see you as this animal. And you can imagine that going to jail will fundamentally, psychologically change you. You never come out the same, So Monges is speaking out about Lerato, speaking about all these women, speaking out about cancel culture, etc. And I think I'm still going to go watch the full conversation, but I want to highlight this, The legal system in South Africa, I do not call it the justice system because I do not believe it is just. I do not believe it is fair. It is a legal system nonetheless, and it works very much on, do you have money? If you have money, then you get better representation. And number two, it works on how well you can argue and the technicalities of the case. Nothing to do with what's right and wrong, but how well can you argue? Do you show remorse? Like, why must I show remorse? Oh, yeah, but you must show... No, I don't need to show remorse. I'm either guilty or not, And I can either tell you that I'm remorseful or not, but it's not that I have to look remorseful or sound remorseful. The technicalities, these documents weren't submitted within the prescribed days. Yes, but the evidence wasn't submitted at the right time. Yes, the evidence was tampered with. All these stupid technicalities, and cases are kicked forward over and over. Over and over. And you find a case that could have been resolved in 2 days, taking 5-10 years. A lot of women never receive justice in rape cases. And I say this because a lot of these women will tell you, I was raped. Everyone knows I was raped, but these guys got off on a technicality. The rape kit apparently was not conclusive enough. They acknowledged that, yes, the guy did say we had sex, whatever the case may be. But the magistrate felt maybe it was too harsh. The magistrate felt, no, this is what must happen with the case. Because when you look at the data, I think of the 100 rape cases that go to trial or that are opened, of which you can imagine how many other women don't open rape cases. Why not? They don't open rape cases because they're scared that the guy might hurt her, kill her, She might have been raped by a spouse or a friend or a boyfriend, and she maybe doesn't want to damage his reputation, hurt him. She doesn't want to be labeled as a rape victim. Now, people out there, oh my gosh, you were raped. She's like, you know what? I'm not going to tell anyone. Maybe the case was slippery. Like, she's not sure if it will actually stand up. She didn't maybe take a rape kit. Even if she did, it doesn't show forceful entry, violence. You know, maybe there's no semen. The guy wore a condom. Maybe she waited too long. Whatever the case, there are many reasons. But of the ones that go 100, I think 98 of them actually go to trial. 98 of the 100 cases go to, no, yes, 98 go to trial. No, what am I saying? Of the 100 rape cases that are opened, I'm not sure of the percentage that actually go to court in front of a magistrate or a judge, but there are only ever 2 convictions. 2 men, I don't know if women are convicted, 2 men out of 100 men that are accused of rape will actually go to jail. So you look at that rate, and that becomes another reason why a woman's like, why should I even open a case? A lot of the men lie. It becomes he said, she said. A lot of people brand and bash the woman. If you look at the cases of Os Java, of DJ Fresh, Euphonic, and other people, some of the women that come out and speak, we don't know if they are, what's the right term? If they have false allegations and they're being malicious and they are destroying these guys' careers, unfounded. But if ever there was a chance that these women were violated, they are not getting justice. And that will hurt them, and that will break them, and that will traumatize them. So in this case, Toles Mo won. And he's going out angry as he should be, saying, you know, I won my case. People canceled me. All these women accused me of stuff, and I'm angry and I'm pissed. And I'm like, he won in the legal system. But there are so many women that lose in the legal system, even though they were violated. So just because a judge magistrate says not guilty or guilty does not necessarily mean there was no wrongdoing. It just means you won in the court. You won in the court. So I think we need to be just very careful and very sensitive about some of these matters. This is why rape is such a tricky crime to take to court. And I've made videos about it before. I think if you search for Penuel the Black Pen and you search rape, I think I've made like 2 videos before. One of them being about the complexity of rape trials, and then the second one being about the case of Fresh, Euphonics, Java, etc., and other people. There are many men that are falsely accused. There are many malicious women. Women are not innocent. There are many women that are evil, that go on social media, accuse you of rape or sexual harassment, and you get fired. You lose contracts. And there are no consequences to that woman if she comes back tomorrow. Oh, I was kidding. No, guys, it was a mistake. It actually wasn't Penn. It was another guy that looks like him. You know, I forgot his name. It's too late. I did, I think, 2 interviews for Standard Bank a couple of years ago, interviewing entrepreneurs. At the time, I was a money coach. I was coaching people on money, 2 entrepreneurs. And these 2 ladies, one of them, I think, is a radio DJ. You know, I'm not going to mention her name because I'm not an idiot. 2 of them were like, oh my gosh, you guys gave this guy a platform. This guy is a scammer. This guy has run pyramid schemes, etc. And there were tags of a Facebook page or group called Penal Property Stockfile, which I've never heard of. It's got nothing to do with me. My pictures are not even up there. There was some other Penal investment thing on Facebook. They were like, yeah, this guy. I'm like, those are not my things. So they accused me of that on Twitter, and the production company sent me these things. Pen, is there any merit to this? I'm like, this is not me. This has got nothing to do with me. I don't know who these people are. I'm not sure where they get this from. I went and I DM'd these ladies on Twitter, and I was like, look, apparently you say I'm a scammer. You know, I wanted to know, where is this coming from? You know, why would you say this? Both of them blocked me. Now, they saw the ads to the episodes, and that's when they raised this. The production company told me, our client Standard Bank said, look, due to reputational risk, they unfortunately won't go ahead and fly to the episodes. Luckily, I got paid for the work that I did, but I couldn't do any more work with them. 2 ladies, 2 not famous, not known ladies that just accused me of stuff on Twitter, and I lost work. Cancel culture. I remember venting in certain WhatsApp groups, and there were some influential, powerful people there, and they were like, look, you have to open a case. So I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. I asked the production company, do you guys not do follow-ups on these accusations? Because what if it's just any random person that's accusing me of something? They were like, yo, no, it's too much work. I'm like, but you will cancel me. I was like, sure, I understand. It's too much work for you. You'd rather, veer on the side of caution. I realized after that, so I've written a book, by the way, a business book, The Rise and Fall of the NSC, about how my business collapsed. Book I've written, people have bought it, people have read it. None of those people were investors in that business, and even if they were, they would have known that there was communication, and they would have known that there was a response. I was used to respond to my investors about what happened. What I learned from that was, you have to build a thick skin, and that people will come for you, and that there are malicious people that don't really care. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care if you commit suicide. If anything, they might laugh. Oh, he killed himself. Oh, he's so weak. There were people that had mutterings after WHP took his life on how, just because he wasn't getting gigs, come on, just because of trap. It's like, I don't think you guys understand the mental state and cancel culture and how people are dealing with things. And Hated by the Nation, an episode on Black Mirror, one of my favorite Black Mirror episodes, highlights the danger of social media in posting hate towards someone, and how it might be that in life, this might come back to you. One of the series that I really enjoyed this year, if not last year, and it hasn't come out on mainstream platforms, it's on Apple TV. If you on piracy sites, you might find it's called The Morning Show. It's got Reese Witherspoon, and it's got Ntombia Brad Pitt that was on Friends. Jennifer Aniston. I think it's Jennifer Aniston. It's got Steve Carell, comedian. So there's sexual harassment, sexual assault allegations. This guy ends up losing his job in the series. Amazing series, amazing acting. I can't wait for you guys to see it mainstream. There's a point where one of the characters who's been accused goes to meet another famous person who's been accused of rape before. That conversation is not too important for now. What I want to highlight is one of the things these guys say is when society goes for very evil men, a lot of the men will keep quiet, turn a blind eye. When society goes for bad men or men who have done isolated bad things, same men in society will keep quiet, turn a blind eye. When society starts going for good men with false accusations, or by the time society goes for good men with false accusations, there will be no men left to defend those men, because all the men have become quiet, silent, turn a blind eye, never speak out, scared of asking difficult questions because they will get cancelled, be labeled rape apologists, be labeled toxic males, etc. by these so-called radical feminists who are nothing more than malicious women who are destructive, who take their own pains, their own experiences, and they want to hurt other people. Hurt people, hurt people. It's complicated. It's complicated. Anyways, I think the point of me making this video is just to highlight Mongias is not well. Toles Mo is not well. He's really in pain. He's really angry. And rightfully, he must vent. I'm hoping a whole lot of other men will find strength in Toles Mo's testimony and tell their stories of false accusations, maybe being in jail, getting jailed for false accusations, how they've suffered, cancel culture, etc. I mean, or DJ Fresh have kind of disappeared from social media, Abo Euphonic, because of this cancel culture. Who's Java? I'd like to think since it's still not getting gigs, Lady Zamar eventually withdrew the case, the charges. And that's not to say she was not violated. She could have been violated. That's the thing about this legal system. Just because someone wins a case doesn't mean they were right. She withdrew the charges, and Java's life has never been the same. He's angry. I hope men will get testimony from that. But I need you guys to understand that the legal system is not the justice system. And winning a case doesn't necessarily mean you are right and the other person was wrong. And we need to be sensitive because rape cases are extremely complex. I think the biggest pain for me is the fact that we have lost our ability to enact reasonable justice within ourselves as individuals, as families and communities. In a situation like Ulerato Moloi, if she feels she was violated, her first point of call should have been going to her family and friends and stating what happened. And then after telling them, those friends and family must then go and address and approach Tolesmo and say, look, Ulerato has said this, and stand in solidarity with her. What do you have to say? And if he says there's no such thing, then they say, look, we would like to sit down with your family and your friends and discuss this matter. Very sensitive matter. And if it happens that we feel you are guilty as a collective, you maybe admit that you did something wrong, then let's decide as a community, as family, as friends, how to enact justice. Do you pay this lady? Do we maybe beat you up and we agree, look, we're going to give you lashings with a shambok? Do we say we're going to isolate you? There's nothing stopping families from locking people within family spaces. You lock them in a house for a reasonable period, get them to think about what they're doing wrong, get them to watch clips on rape and victims and the pain and the consequences, and any other corrective measures and apologies. You keep it within the family and you enact justice. And afterwards, the lady herself comes and you guys speak and you mediate and you're like, let's make sure this doesn't happen again. And let's both heal and get better. Or let's see how we can stay away from each other without escalating it to lawyers who don't care about you and only care about money, to magistrates who don't care about you and only care about money, to legal systems that are broken, where cases are pushed on and on and on, where there's limited people that can be there supporting you, being your pillar of strength. And you might find that you don't get the right outcome. Never mind guilty or not guilty, but just how do we as two families, as two people come together and say, look, maybe we slept together. Maybe this was wrong. Maybe we were drunk, whatever the case may be. Or, I'm sorry, lady, we've never slept together. Maybe you were drunk and you thought it was me, but it wasn't. So maybe I can even help you, maybe find the person that violated you. Are you sure you were violated? Maybe you were dreaming. But let's heal and let's get our loved ones in and let's look to fix. And if it happens that, let's say, Upenwell is being accused of rape by 4 girls, all those girls and their families must come to my family. Let's speak. Penal, what's wrong? Do we need to beat you up? Do we need to actually send you to prison? Because clearly you are bad in society. Do we as a family need to find a way to maybe put you down? Because maybe you're actually a hazard, not just to strangers, but to the family as well. You've raped nieces in the family. You've raped other women. There's something fundamentally wrong with you. And we've tried to beat you up. We've tried to isolate you. We've tried to give you hard manual labor. You're not getting better. So even sending you to prison won't fix you. But we need to take the power back. And we need to find ways to enact justice within our families. Fair, reasonable justice. I'm not talking about mob justice where you're beating, killing someone just because of an accusation. Many of those cases exist as well. And we have to speak about the consequences of women that are found to have lied. And I mean without, what's a reasonable doubt? Without reasonable doubt, I think. There's a nice term for it. Beyond reasonable doubt, sorry. Beyond reasonable doubt, it's been proven. She sent a WhatsApp text to her friend or a friend. Penal doesn't know me. Fuck this nigga. I wanted to date him. He blew me off. Watch what I'm going to do to him. I'm going to accuse him of rape. Fuck him and his fans. There's proof, conclusive evidence that this lady lied. There's conclusive evidence that Penal was in Canada the entire month that this lady claims that she may have been raped for a day. In that entire month, Penal was not there. He was in Canada. There's proof. There are pictures. There are witnesses. Clearly, this lady got the wrong person. So for that reason, she must be punished. What is fair punishment for falsely accusing someone? Defamation cannot be enough. 200,000, 500,000. It cannot be enough because there is emotional damage. There is psychological damage to people. But we need to have these conversations and we need to be comfortable to even ask difficult questions. Where were you? What were you wearing? No, you can't ask that. You can't ask that. You can't ask that. We should be allowed to ask, what were you wearing? Why were you there? Why did you go home with a guy drunk? Why did you go home with a stranger? Why? Explain to us, because in your answers, we may be able to help you in future. If you're going to be going to a dodgy place you've never been to before, please cover yourself up, because there are vultures and wolves and monsters out there. Make sure you're not going home with strange men. If you are, for whatever dumb reason that women do, make sure you take pictures of his number plate, take pictures of the guy, send your location and everything to your friends and family so they know exactly where you are. Make sure that you kind of know this guy, where he is. If you know any of his friends, vet him. Oh no, people know him. He works at this big company, whatever the case may be. We need to be more honest about how these things are happening, because this bullshit idealism of, don't question the victim, and it's the bullshit that's leading to the atrocities that we're seeing. But we need to claim our power back, and we need to be intelligent. There's nothing special about lawyers, there's nothing special about magistrates, except that they went to school. But we have some type of moral compass, we have some type of voice, and we need to use it to come in and assist people. This is why I counsel people, couples that are fighting, beating each other, couples that are sucking money from each other, couples that have broken each other's hearts. Let's sit and let's talk. I don't need to be a super therapist. I don't need to have studied. I'm a human being. I have experiences. I have a brain. I can listen to you. And if you feel my advice and my thoughts are not great, go find someone else, even if it is a professional, paid professional. But let's sit down. Let's try and resolve our own problems. This thing of not being able to resolve our own problems is why we constantly give our power to corrupt politicians, corrupt pastors, corrupt business people, because we have lost our power. Get your power back. To my brother Omongezi, I wish you nothing but healing, my brother. Thank you for sharing your story. We need to be careful of how we're shooting straight bullets at people that have not done us wrong, but we obviously need to isolate and hold to account the people that have. And I hope more men and more women will use social media platforms outside of the courts to tell their genuine stories of what they've experienced. Pin you all the black pen. Have a great and blessed day. Cheers.